So he confided in her, and she answered. Meanwhile Eurynome and the nurse together laid soft coverlets on the master's bed, working in haste by torchlight. Eurycleia retired to her quarters for the night, and then Eurynome, as maid-in-waiting, lighted her lord and lady to their chamber with bright brands. She vanished. So they came into that bed so steadfast, loved of old, opening glad arms to one another. Telemachus by now had hushed the dancing, hushed the women. In the darkened hall he and the cowherd and the swineherd slept. The royal pair mingled in love again, and afterward lay revelling in stories. Hers of the siege, her beauty stood at home from arrogant suitors crowding on her sight, and how they fed their courtship on his cattle, oxen, and fat sheep, and drank up rivers of wine out of the vats. Odysseus told of what hard blows he had dealt out to others, and of what blows he had taken, all that story. She could not close her eyes till all was told. His raid on the Cicones first of all, then how he visited the Lotus Eaters, and what the Cyclops did, and how those shipmates, pitilessly devoured, were avenged. Then of his touching Iollas' isle, and how that king refitted him for sailing to Ithaca, all vain. Gales blew him back, groaning over the fish-cold sea. Then how he reached the Laestrygonians' distant bay, and how they smashed his ships and his companions. Circe, then, of her deceits and magic, then of his voyage to the wide underworld of dark, the house of death, and questioning Tiresias, Theban spirit. Dead companions many he saw there, and his mother too. Of this he told his wife, and told how later he heard the choir of maddening sirens coasted the wandering rocks, Charybdis' pool, and the fiend Scylla who takes toll of men. Then how his shipmates killed Lord Helios' cattle, and how Zeus thundering in towering heaven split their fast ship with his fuming bolt, so all hands perished. He alone survived, cast away on Calypso's isle, Ogygia. He told then how that nymph detained him there in her smooth caves, craving him for her husband, and how in her devoted lust she swore he should not die nor grow old all his days, but he held out against her. Last of all, what sea toil brought him to the Phaeacians, their welcome, how they took him to their hearts and gave him passage to his own dear island, with gifts of garments, gold and bronze. Remembering, he drowsed over the story's end. Sweet sleep relaxed his limbs and his care-burdened breast. Other affairs were in Athena's keeping, waiting until Odysseus had his pleasure of love and sleep. The grey-eyed one bestirred the fresh dawn from her bed of paling ocean to bring up daylight to her golden chair, and from his fleecy bed Odysseus arose. He said to Penelope, "My lady, what ordeals have we not endured? Here, waiting, you had your grief, while my return dragged out my hard adventures, pitting myself against the gods' will, and Zeus, who pinned me down far from home. But now our life resumes, we've come together to our longed-for bed. Take care of what is left me in our house. As to the flocks that pack of wolves laid waste, they'll be replenished. Scores I'll get on raids, and other scores our island friends will give me, till all the folds are full again. This day I'm off, up country to the orchards. I must see my noble father, for he missed me sorely. And here's my command for you, a strict one, though you may need none, clever as you are. Word will get about as the sun goes higher of how I killed those lads. Go to your rooms on the upper floor and take your women. Stay there with never a glance outside or a word to anyone. Fitting cuirass and sword belt to his shoulders, he woke his herdsmen, woke Telemachus, ordering all in arms. They dressed quickly, and all in war gear sallied from the gate, led by Odysseus. Now it was broad day, but these 3 men Athena hid in darkness, going before them swiftly from the town.